We're going to need to come up with an acronym for this topic. How does AI visibility optimization differ from traditional SEO? So AI visibility optimization, do we call that AIVO? If you're in the know. If you think that ranking your website at the top of Google is enough to show up in AI summaries or show up on ChatGPT, you're already falling behind. Traditional SEO was all about keywords and backlinks and finding loopholes in the algorithm. But what AI cares the most about is how well you teach. The new game isn't about clicks, it's about citations. If your content isn't clear, specific, and of course valuable, AI skips you. So in this episode, I'll break down how AI visibility optimization works, how it's completely different from traditional SEO. In fact, it's way easier, and you'll know exactly what content you can create that'll get picked up by the large language models like ChatGPT, like AI Overview, like Perplexity. Let's dive right in. Because we are so new into the age of AI, there are some misconceptions that a lot of people believe. SEO is just about keywords and backlinks. AI doesn't change that much. The first reason why this is a misconception is SEO before AI is actually already changed. Google changed from a website search engine to a content search engine. And the best way to rank at the top of Google and YouTube was not backlinks, but is actually by creating the content that people want to view and want to watch on YouTube. More specifically, your target audience is being really specific with their search. So when they go to Google, when they go to YouTube, or they go to ChatGPT, they're typing in things that are way more specific than they used to just a handful of years ago. So what that means for us, that we want to get in front of these people, we can do keyword research and we can find way more specific data. Instead of just finding a keyword that's 3 words long or a long tail keyword that's 5 words long, we can find thousands of questions that are 8, 9, or even 10 words long. So that allows us to hone in way more. We can find the questions that are coming from our exact target audience. So we can make content that targets our exact target audience. We don't have to do backlinks, we don't have to do ads or anything like that. Our target audience is searching for it, and they'll find our content on YouTube, on Google, and on ChatGPT. Is AI visibility the same as search visibility? Well, yes and no. So if people are searching for something really basic, they just need a quick answer, tools like AI Overview or just the written response in ChatGPT are going to be adequate. But the more people dig, the more that they really want to know the answer and they want somebody with experience, these AI tools are actually recommending other sites. Now, there was a study done. The number 1 site is actually Amazon. So I guess that's when people are looking for a product or something. The number 2 site being recommended by ChatGPT is Wikipedia. And the number 3 site being recommended by ChatGPT is YouTube. So this is pretty exciting because what we found is if you are an expert, let's say you're a coach or a consultant, or you've got courses that you've created, or you're an author, or you have an educational podcast, or you've got a training component to your business. You've got products and services that you sell, but there's a lot of education. Maybe you have an accounting software, and so there's a lot of questions people have about accounting. If you've got this educational component to your business, so the search engine optimization process has become much easier for you. All you have to do is create the right type of educational content and put it on YouTube. That's all you do. It'll show up at the top of YouTube search, it'll show up at the top of Google search, and it'll show up on these AI tools like ChatGPT. Now, we found that there's a specific formula of content that you need to create in order to get these results. I call it the LEAF strategy. If you follow the 5 ingredients of the LEAF strategy, your videos will show up in all 3 of these places. And now I need to take a step back because it's not just about showing up at the top, but what if the content that you create following these 5 ingredients would build a relationship with people? So people that are searching for you, you need to create the content in a way that will build a relationship and have people not feel like they're being sold to. So it builds a relationship with them. It generates these referral quality leads for your business. That's the reason we follow the LEAF strategy. Let me give you a sneak peek into the LEAF strategy. I use the keyword magic tool. You'll see it written right on the screen there. The website is SEMrush. I am an affiliate with them, and I can give you a 2-week free trial. So if you go to herokeywordtool.com, you'll be able to explore what I'm doing right here. Now, what this tool shows is historical data of Google searches over the past year. But what I've been using this for is getting your content ranked at the top of YouTube and Google. Now, how does that work? Let me start with an example and I'll explain more. So one of my clients, Nicolene Peck, she's a parenting expert, and I'm going to type in discipline teenager. I'm going to turn on the questions button, and I'm going to look for questions that have 8 words or more and hit apply there. All right, so there's some very specific questions here. How to discipline a teenager who doesn't care about consequences. That gets searched 260 times a month. How to discipline a teenager that won't listen. There's a couple of them there. If you add that up, that's 280. A teenager who's defiant, an out-of-control teenager, a teenager with oppositional defiant disorder. You can see that there's quite a few. The ones that say 0 here, that means less than 10. I typically don't go after those, but anything that has 10 or above, that is gold. Now, in the future, in the coming weeks, this tool is actually going to have data from ChatGPT searches. That's going to be exciting to see because I think we are going to see some variations, but I've been using this tool for years. It gives me Google data and I've been having success with it on YouTube. Why is that? Well, I'm not doing keyword stuffing. I'm not worrying about the keyword field on YouTube. What I'm worrying about or focusing on is what questions is my target audience asking, no matter where it is. So if I just focus on my target audience and I get data that happens to come from Google, but it's data specifically about my target audience because I know who they are and I know their experience. I mean, these are parents that are having problems with their teenager. So whether the question's about health or real estate or marketing or business or life coaching, whatever those questions are, you can know the questions that your target audience is asking. And so then all you need to focus on is creating content that answers their question. The best type of content that builds a relationship is video, and right now the best video platform is YouTube. If you follow this approach, the leaf strategy, you follow the 5 ingredients of the leaf strategy, these videos will rank at the top of YouTube, it'll show up at the top of Google, and our videos are now showing up on these LLMs like ChatGPT. In order for you to get these results and get referenced by tools like ChatGPT or AI Overview, I want you to dominate the leaf strategy and understand the 5 ingredients. So I've created another video, I'll link to it right there. It's called The Leaf Strategy, How to Rank #1 on YouTube. So definitely go watch that video next.